Welcome to Michigan Replay. I'm Larry Adderley with Bo Schembechler. Bo, you are to be congratulated on that 100th victory for you as a coach. But I imagine you're happier about the fact that finally a Michigan team looked like the Michigan team that won the other 59 games that helped you get to that total.
Well, Larry, we were pleased with the performance of our youngsters, particularly offensively. We didn't make as many mistakes as we've been making in the past. And our defense, most of the game, I think, looked like the old Michigan defense that we've been accustomed to seeing. So from that standpoint, we were very pleased. I thought we came back extremely well from two very disheartening ties, and our team stayed together, kept their composure, and showed a lot of character in playing so well Saturday.
Rob Lytle said in quotes afterwards, anything that isn't a win is a loss, and we're tired of losing. So they didn't like those ties either.
Well, I don't think they did, and our week of preparation for the Missouri game was very good, and I was just tickled to death. It's been a fun team to work with, and I think they'll get a lot better. I don't know whether they can get better fast enough or not, but we're going to make a run at it.
Final statistics looked very good, but it was still a very close game at the half, only 10-0.
Well, Missouri's a very fine team, and they jumped into a defense that we hadn't prepared for quite as much as we should have, probably. And I think they were a little discouraged that we took the opening kickoff and went down and scored, and consequently forced us into making a lot of adjustments up front. And then when we made our adjustments at halftime, came out the second half, I felt we'd moved the football real well against them, and we did.
Once again, as against Baylor, you grabbed that opening kickoff and took it right down the field with a very smart-looking march, and we have that on film.
Well, that's important. Here's an option play with Leach pitching out to Gordon Bell that gained 20 yards for us. Was a key play in that drive. Leach on the option play keeps it himself. I thought he did an excellent job. This was even superior to his performance at Wisconsin in running the option. And then Rob Lytle dives in on a regular fullback buck for our first touchdown. And here's Mark Elzinga at quarterback now, giving the ball to Rob Lytle on an off-tackle play. And you come back here with Gordon Bell. This is just before the half, setting up the field goal.
Super little run there.
A great run by Bell in a passing situation. And then Bobby kicks a 40-yarder here that puts us on top 10-0. That's the final play of the first half.
When they came out for the second half, you really got the defense together.
Well, Morton broke loose and got in to throw him for a loss. Our defense, I think, looked good, particularly Timmy Davis, who was sensational all afternoon. Here we recover a fumble.
The fumble was their fault, but you got to it.
But we got it, right. And here's a pitch out to Bell, who I thought ran extremely well once again, as he did a week ago. And on a pass play here, Leach decides to run and comes very close to a first down. Took an awful hit there, but came close to a first down. And here's Lytle breaking loose on a regular fullback buck up the middle for 19 yards and a touchdown, and that made it 17. Here's the option play again, executed to me brilliantly by Leach, as he faked a couple of guys out here and ran down inside the 20-yard line to give us field position. And then on a passing situation, when he doesn't see a receiver open, he takes off running and scores. We feel he has to do that type of thing. He's got to be a threat on both the option and the ability to scramble on the pass, which we think he can do very well. Here's a bad exchange, center quarterback exchange, one of those automatic things that sometimes goes awry, and we got the football. And with Elzinga at quarterback, we come back with a young backfield. This is Harlan Huckleby, freshman from Cass Tech here in Detroit, doing a tremendous job running here and on the pitch out. I think that fellow underestimated his speed, and Harlan ran around him for a touchdown.
Well, they got one back on you, but really the game was over by then. You were playing a lot of substitutes by this time.
Well, that's true, but we don't like to get scored on. This is Wood, their number 2 quarterback, carrying the ball on the option. And here's the play they scored on, well executed, and faked into the line twice and caught us off balance and hit it for a touchdown.
But you're really not too worried at that point.
Well, we don't like to get scored on, Larry, but I wasn't worried about losing the game, no.
You talked about Leach improving some and giving other teams problems now that they know he can run the option the way he can.
Well, we feel he's got the ability to run and pass, and I think that his confidence in running the option and running the football was really demonstrated Saturday. He's got an excellent throwing arm, and I think as soon as he starts off and hits a couple of passes and starts to throw the ball the way he's capable, he'll be even more of a threat.
You have yet to prove that to other teams, that Leach can throw the ball, that Michigan does have a passing attack.
well, someday that'll happen.
You're hoping so. You started an all-freshman backfield for a while in that fourth quarter, too.
Well, yes, we did. We had Leach and Russell Davis and Harlan Huckabee in the backfield, and we had Gene Johnson and Mark Schmerge at the tight ends when we were running out of 2 tight ends, which meant we had 5 freshmen on the field with our offensive team at one time.
Does that make it tough for you to recruit from here on?
Well, I don't know about recruiting, but the coaching aspect of it gives you a few problems. But all 5 of those youngsters are really coming along well offensively, and we really don't feel too badly about playing them right now.
All right.